The Canadian Hockey League on Rogers Sportsnet. Hockey that matters.
Welcome to the General Motors Center as we get ready for this game between the Oshawa Generals and the Ottawa 67's. Starting goalies brought to you by ADT. Always there. Loic Lacasse gets the start for the hometown Generals. 12-9-3, a .417 goals against average. Lucas Fleuler, 6-10-1. He's a Swiss national. .356 goals against average. Gets the start for the Ottawa 67's. I'm pleased to have next to me Roger Lajoie as we get ready to call this game with playoff implications for both teams as they are still trying to nail down a playoff spot. And Brad Selwood knows with 3 games left against the Ottawa 67's how important today's game is.
It is a big one, Rob, and the Generals have clinched nothing yet. Remember, this team hasn't made the playoffs in 3 years. They want to get that little X next to their name, get that out of the way, and officially clinch the spot. If they win today and Brampton loses at home to Sudbury, they are in. So this is a big one, and Ottawa, of course, is only 4 points up on that last spot.
It's a very special day, and you can see that's some remnants from the carpet that was laid down as they honored a couple of things. First of all, the Memorial Cup winning team from 1990, and many of you might remember that in 1990 a member of that Oshawa Generals Memorial Cup winner was Eric Lindros, and they also did celebrate the Canadian troops serving. And earlier, very special day, some former team members on hand to raise both the J. Ross Robertson Cup and the Memorial Cup banners.
And very appropriate as well, they go next to the Red Tilson banner, which is already hung from the ceiling here, Rob. And of course, Red Tilson on Support Your Troops Day was killed overseas in the war in 1943. A great general from 41 to 43. So only 3 banners have been lifted to this new arena's rafters. Red Tilson, the Memorial Cup, and the Ross Robertson from 1990. And a very nice ceremony before the game.
Rick Cornacchia, Larry Marson, Mark Logan, the coaches. The director of hockey operations was Frank J., and a number of players on hand.
Brian Boyes, the trainer of the Generals today. Rob was the trainer back then. And one of the stick boys was Barclay Branch, the son of Dave Branch, the commissioner of the Ontario Hockey League, who now is an assistant GM with the Belleville Bulls. How about that?
Well, once you get it in your blood, it's hard to get it out. The captain of the team was Ian Fraser, Brent Grieve, and Paul O'Hagan, the assistant captains, and Bill Armstrong, who scored the game-winning goal in overtime.
In double overtime in Hamilton against the Kitchener Rangers. And Rob, they played in the semifinal game on Thursday, or the last round robin game on Thursday. Oshawa won in double overtime. It went to Sunday night's final in double overtime. Oshawa won again, and the fans remember that great team. The last time a Memorial Cup has been won in Oshawa in 1990, and I'd say 16 or 17 of the players and all of the coaches and managers on the team came out today for the ceremony, so it was great.
And earlier, as we mentioned, it was Support Our Troops Day. Captain Jason Redlarski dropping the puck along with Corporal Rob Shaw, Corporal Josh Ward, and Corporal Riley Falls, all on hand. They've asked the number of the faithful here at the General Motors Center to sport red to support our troops, and a nice contingent as well in the crowd as they will enjoy this game, no doubt, between the Oshawa Generals and the Ottawa 67's. We talked about how important this is as they bring the Zamboni on, just to give it a quick scrape of that one area to the right of Loic Lacasse. Ottawa 67's come in with 55 points, 26-31, 0-3 their record. Oshawa 27-25, 2-5. And you see that how close it is right now. And what you want is that X next to your name.
X marks the spot for a playoff spot. That's exactly right, Rob. And again, if the Generals win today, they'll move up to 63 points. If Brampton loses, they'll stay at 51. And the battalion will have just 5 games left. So Oshawa will clinch a playoff spot. It's a foregone conclusion. But Ottawa, Rob, just 4 points ahead on Brampton and Peterborough. We're getting down to the short strokes of the season. This is just as important. In fact, you can make an argument more important for Brian Kilray today.
Interesting that Peterborough, who went on fire sale earlier, just before the trade deadline, is still, flitting around the edge.
Well, and that's the thing. Brampton and Peterborough both rebuilt for the future. Brampton made a couple of deals. Martin and Oroscovic were on a fire sale there. Stan Butler got a pile of draft picks for future years. Same thing in Peterborough. Jeff Toohey got rid of Downey and Ryder, and look at them both with a chance to get into the playoffs and still build for the future. And Rob, when you can do that in junior hockey, that's a huge thing for a development of a program.
Well, there is Logan Couture. Murray. He is one of those guys who just works. He's had a, well, I don't think any season you'd want to wish on anybody. 21 goals, 39 assists, but he was hobbled by mono at the start of the season and then knee problems throughout the year. But Brian Kilray told us this kid never stops. Never stops working, and you got to love that because you know the talent's there. He would have been the #1 overall pick 2 years ago, but the Generals drafted John Tavares. They had the #1 pick. The OHL made the rule for the exceptional player, which was deemed that Tavares could come into the league as a 14-year-old, Rob. So Logan Couture dropped down. Thought about not coming to the OHL, was a little miffed, his representatives and his family. Ottawa talked to him, took him 15th overall in the first round. What a pick that turned out to be. He's a leader on this team. And he will be asked to do the job again. The ice is now up to snuff for the referees for today's game. As you take a look at John Tavares, 61 goals, 113 points. Scott Hoberg and Sean Reed are the officials. Ben Buxton and Joe Celestin are the linesmen. Ready to go for this game. Oshawa wearing home white with the blue and red trim, and the very familiar barber pole outfit of the Ottawa 67's, red, white, and black. And action already underway. Jamie McGinn takes a big hit to begin, as starting off Cal Clutterbuck throws his body around. Always finishes the hit, Brad Selwood says, and a perfect example. 15 seconds in and does just that. And now Ottawa has come into this game basically running 3 lines and 3 lines only, and that is because of injury, flu, and a couple of players who haven't rejoined the team. And McGinn's going to have a touch of an injury if he doesn't watch it, as Clutterbuck follows through on the hit. There's another angle right against the boards. Clean hit, though. He was facing him. McGinn goes down, and Clutterbuck does what he does best, is hit some bodies. Siegmiller, a little trouble, some pressure there. It's a quick call on the offside. Ottawa is missing 2 players, in Cody Lindsay and Tyler Kumut. Both of them were part of Team Ontario for the Canada Winter Games in Whitehorse. And for the Oshawa Generals, they're without their all-star Michael Delzato, the defenseman, also part of Team Ontario. They got stuck in weather problems there in Calgary. Quick shot. And that one off the stick of Dale Mitchell off the end glass. Kept in by Gongalski. Ottawa quick to sweep it out. You'll see Ottawa do some quick changes as they've only got 3 lines. And let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by Yamaha, manufacturer of the world's finest recreational vehicles. Well, the Ottawa 67's obviously need to keep those line shifts short. With only 9 forwards basically dressed for the game, they've got to roll those lines quickly. The Generals have got to stay out of the penalty box. They are the 20th ranked penalty kill team in the OHL. Rob, when they take penalties, they lose hockey games. It's no more complicated than that. And don't think that Ottawa has shortened its bench for this game against Oshawa. They are just rolling 3 lines, 6D. Thanks very much. Get on the bus, those that are healthy. And everyone will feel nice and tired tonight when they get back to Ottawa. But that's no choice. It's injuries. It's forcing Killer's hand today. Mark Matheau, he loses it. Again, the body's being thrown around fairly early as Joe Grimaldi laid in the body. Delory throws it in, controlled by Brody Beard, and out come the 67. Lofting it high and just bouncing under the line. Here's a chance now coming in. Ottawa saved by Lacasse. That against Thomas Kiriakou. Thrown right back in again, and the Generals start back. Howard on the right side. Across the line, really had nobody, but he directs the puck towards the net, where Fleuler holds on.
The Canadian Hockey League on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by MasterCard. There are some things money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
Shea Kewen taking the draw, kept in by Oshawa, thrown around behind the net. Sean Ryan is there for it. Sidesteps a check. Brings it out himself. Just a little pass for Ribeiro. Throws it into the opposite corner. Racing after there, Scott Cowie. In behind it, Nesbitt. Nesbitt takes a bit of a bump. Ribeiro swings out, comes out high to the line. Demers fires it on. That is wide. Still Ottawa control, trying to jam it in. Lacasse, here's another shot. Good save. Standing on the doorstep is Scott Cowie. And we've got 2 guys squaring off. Demers, one of them. And Murray Free, the other. That was right behind the play at center ice. Demers got Free down. Free got back up again. And now the wrestling match starts. Interesting that this would go early.
Free, a call-up, of course, for the Oshawa Generals doesn't play much, and wanting to send a message here, and early is the case. 2:24 in, and both were very willing combatants, Rob, and it was a traditional let's drop the gloves and go. And they both go to the penalty box for 5 minutes here early in the first period. And we'll take a look at how this develops. Just a little pushing and shoving, and there's not even so much pushing and shoving. There's a lot of talking. And here they go, drop them, roll up the sleeves, and off they go.
Well, they got their gear off and ready to go. And here's the opportunity by Scott Cowie. Got himself in a nice spot.
Left alone in front, gets that quick shot off, and that's good work by Cowie there. But Generals making it too easy for him to stand around in front. They're going to have to be more physical in front of Logan Couture.
Nesbitt throws it in behind the net. 67's bring it back out in front. A little spin there. Ribeiro couldn't get good wood on the backhand as he was being held up by Eric Regan. Generals back the other direction. Corey Cowie slides it in, and around the boards it comes. Generals trying to get something going in the 67's zone. Back to the line. Quick shot there, but it was off the mark. Was Regan controlling it now. Hewen in the corner, tries to step up, walks out of the corner, but puts it right on the stick of Grimaldi, who banks it off the glass. Regan near side, winds up. He's firing it long right at Fleuler. Bit of a surprise start. Lucas Fleuler getting the go. He's got a .356 goals against average. Just trying to get him some time in net before the stretch drive. 67's again, bouncing puck at center. McGinn on the left side has to wait for everybody to get onside. Leahy and Couture on the forecheck. Aston flips it high. It bounced, knocked down at center by the 67's. Logan Couture knocks his man John Tavares down. Oh, and then had to get out of the way of Quarterbuck quickly. Oh, wandering was Lacasse. Here's a chance now for Couture. An open net. Lacasse went for a wander, and it almost cost the Generals.
He got lucky there, Rob. He was way out of position.
Turning back the other way again. The 67's, they lose possession. Aston. Who's defense partner? Greg Brown, and it's cleared down into Ottawa territory, and we've got a whistle. 15:49 left to play.
Loic Lacasse does like to play the puck, sometimes a little too much. He's got the right idea here, but kind of cavalier, just puts it against the board, and he's way out of the net, and he's fortunate. That pass did not get over to McGinn, or it would have been 1-0 Ottawa. You can play the puck, but you've got to be careful, and Loic Lacasse is guilty at times of overplaying the puck, and he sure did there.
That may have surprised Matt Leahy. All of a sudden, what are you doing? You're not supposed to do that.
Look what I found here. Yeah.
First period action at the General Motors Center. Mitchell racing in the right side. We've got a 2-on-1. Mitchell shot the rebound. Fleuler makes the save on that. Generals trying to turn it into a quick one. And again, charging in was Gongalski. He couldn't handle the pass, and out the center it comes. Spirited start to this game. Well, both teams realize the importance. There goes Lacasse again. Around the other side, and fortunate bounce. It comes out as the 67's fire it right back in. Siegmiller behind the goal, takes a look, starts it out, quick pass. Knocked down. Good move, a heads-up move there by Brent Liska, but the Generals get it back again. In, Mitchell trying to get a shot away. He was held up, still controlling though. Drops it into the corner, and the 67's Beard throws it down the ice. In pursuit goes Siegmiller. Mitchell on the right side. Opposite corner, Ottawa territory. Wood. Lead pass there. See very quickly somebody trying to get their body in the way, and Ziga Pence. Now coming in, Corey Nagy. Nagy's shot and steered off by the stick of Fleuler. Kept in at the point by Kaverko. Controlling now. Nagy getting off the boards. Digs in low. Nagy still controlling. Generals getting set up in front. He couldn't get the puck to him. He had both Cowart and Pants ready for it. Nagy racing after, but it's going to be whistled down. 14:05 left to play in the opening period.
Coach's nightmares are 2-on-1s, but look how easily they can develop when you have speed. The Generals win the draw, played across the boards. Look at Mitchell. He's past the defender. All of a sudden, hey, I'm home free. He never even saw Parnham coming down on that 2-on-1, but that's where speed can really pay dividends, and Brad Selwood knows Mitchell is one of the best forwards in the league at getting the jump on the defenseman. That worked to perfection.
Ryan bounces in front. Leahy not able to get to it. Back comes Clutterbuck with McLean. Slides off his stick. McLean goes after it. Along the end board, tries to get it back to Tavares. He tried to kick it ahead and free. He's knocked down. Brett McLean in the corner. High to the point. Stick save. Bouncing puck. Knocked away by the defender. And Aston has to back all the way up. Grimaldi throws it into the Oshawa zone. Swept around the boards. McLean bumped off by Leahy. To the point. Grimaldi shot bounces, deflected, and squirts by the goal. Near side, Leahy. He gets a shot. Lacasse steps forward and makes the save. In a very busy Lacasse. Oshawa 6 shots, Ottawa 3, and no scoring in the first period.
Oshawa Generals have to play well at both ends of their rink, and the players have to be good. Here's a scoring chance here. Batted away by Logan Couture. 67's get one right back. McGinn gets it, but watch Lacasse go right to follow the puck, stay in position, and when the shot comes through a crowd, he's right there to smother it. Good scoring chances at both ends of the rink, but a nice play by Couture with the glove on that first one.
Grimaldi fires it right on. Lacasse makes the save, and it's knocked into the corner. Generals able to clear it out. Mitchell, little speed again down the right side, couldn't get to it. There first was Brody Beard. Dumped back in by the Generals. Grimaldi under little pressure. Oh, a dangerous pass in front. And putting it on was Gongalski. Surprised him by chasing him. Mitchell one touches it. Trying to get turned around on it was Parnham. He couldn't. Mitchell backhands it, puts it right on the stick. Kiriakou. Mark Mathod loses it, and Mitchell sweeps it in. Beard turns, and the 67 start back. Flipping it high and knocked down by Regan, right back to the Ottawa line. Racing in now, getting a chance for Ottawa, but Matt Ribeiro lost it at the line. Hewitt held up, and there's going to be a penalty. Lacasse goes to the bench. Extra attacker right now. And the penalty goes to the Ottawa 67, so we'll see the power play for the Oshawa Generals.
And the Generals have the 6th ranked power play in the OHL at a 21.4% efficiency. Ottawa's power play is 13th. Let's look what caused it. Kewen's hustle to get to that puck, and Ottawa player over him and held him up enough. Boy, that was not much of a hold up, but it's enough to get a 2-minute minor. So Oshawa's power play goes to work.
8:05 the time of the penalty. And Oshawa doesn't mind being on the power play. It's the penalty kill they don't like so much. Clutterbuck's shot was deflected. Not out. Aston keeps it in. Right point. Clutterbuck again. Drops it low. Work the point again. Aston to the far side. Trying to chip it towards. Was Eric Regan. McLean is out there. Tavares drifts into the corner, picks it up right back to McLean on the backhand, and a save there by Fuller. Clutterbuck walks right up, tried to feed McLean. He was open. Back to the side, Aston, and it knocked away. Clutterbuck is there for it. Into Tavares, back to Clutterbuck. Tavares setting up shop in behind. Clutterbuck swings it back. McLean now. Aston. Near point, stepping in again. McLean tried to drop it low to Tavares. Tavares with 29 power play goals. A weak shot goes wide. McLean had trouble gathering it up off the end boards. Here's another opportunity. McLean saved there by Fleuler. McLean again. He circles out. McLean edge of the circle. Couldn't get a good shot away. Defended there by Kiriakou. And it's cleared down the ice. 33 seconds remaining in the power play for the Generals. Clutterbuck swings it wide. Gongalski goes into the Ottawa zone. Turns away from Grimaldi. Tried to get it back to Mitchell. And it's cleared out. McGinn coming in on the right side. A shot, and that hits the in glass. Mitchell tries to chip it out. It was a great opportunity, shorthanded by Ottawa with 8 seconds left in the Oshawa power play. And it's whistled down with 10 minutes played exactly in the first period.
Well, the Generals generated some chances in that power play, and Brett McLean had 2 of them. There's Clutterbuck along the boards into Tavares. There's a nice backhand pass. Now watch this backhand shot, a good one for McLean. And another chance develops very quickly. That shot stopped by Fleuler off the shoulder. But Brett McLean does not get the attention that John Tavares does. Look at those numbers, 83 points, second on the team in scoring. What a deal Brad Selwood made to get him, Rob, from Erie, along with the captain of the Generals, Eric Regan, for 2 players who are no longer in the league and 2 second-round draft picks.
And McLean's starting to get noticed, an all-star. A lot of scouts watching him.
Moving up that central scouting ranking in a hurry.
Leahy across the line, but he is offside. 9:39 left to play. Opening period. Oshawa leads in shots, but there's no scoring. 12 points in the last 6 games, and the Generals have only managed 2, Roger.
Not a good stretch, and the Generals were sitting in 4th place in the Eastern Conference before losing to Guelph, Kingston, Kitchener, Sarnia, Plymouth, and worst of all, probably, Rob, in a shootout last night to the last place Erie Otters. The Otters had lost 11 straight games, and the Generals only had 1 point to show for that long trip to Erie last night.
Rolled in this morning around 3:20 when they got everybody back home. Mathot comes in, his shot off the crossbar. Turning, another shot. Lacasse on his knees made the stop. Mitchell trying to get his speed going down the right side. A shot off the blocker there of Fleuler. Opportunities both ends by both the Generals and 67's. Mathot digs in wide. That hits the Oshawa player, Delory. 67's though still control. Mathot leaves it in behind the goal for Liscombe. Going in to help out is Kiriakou. Delory off the boards, and it slides down the ice, but look at the speed of Mitchell. Mitchell swings in on it. Mitchell pushed out of the way by the defenseman Demers. Controlling now. The Generals trying to get something going. Free stepped it out in front. Dean Howard is there. And a chance for the 4th liners to get a little ice. Turning with it. The giveaway coming in now. A chance. Good save by Lacasse. Back out in front. Lacasse makes another one. Puck is loose. Everybody jams away at it. Chance now. And again it is managed to kept out of the goal. A flurry there by the Ottawa 67's. Thomas Nesbitt can't believe it. Either can Matt Ribeiro.
Oh, Nesbitt was down, had Lacasse down and out. And let's take a look at this flurry as the 67's come in charging. First save by Lacasse. That one not that difficult, but there's a tough one off the blocker. Now look at the crowd in front, still down. Now watch Lacasse. He's on his side, and that last shot by Nesbitt somehow stayed out. Nesbitt slammed his stick. Thought for sure he had one there.
Ribeiro, Nesbitt, and Cowie all had opportunities on that charge into Generals territory. Beard steers it ahead. Here's Ribeiro again, rink wide. Rolls off Nesbitt and into the corner. Generals steer it ahead. Howard in across the line. Howard swings wide, tries to center the puck. 67's pick it up and able to use the glass to clear it out. 7:36 left to play. Opening period, no scoring. Shots are now a little closer. 9 for Oshawa, 8 for Ottawa.
Brian Kilray is thrilled with Julian Demers' play recently. Demers has been great as we see a penalty being called to Shea Kewen. So the Ottawa 67's will get a chance. But Dale Mitchell's speed. Now watch Demers. He just forces him wide, keeps him in the back, then pushes him off the puck, and then stays on him, playing the man, keeping him contained, and Mitchell's got nowhere to go. As Demers does a nice job keeping a very fast forward contained. And it's not easy to contain Dale Mitchell.
Well, Kewen is in the box, and it's now an Ottawa power play against the 20th ranked penalty killing unit. Couture fires it towards it. Lacasse is there. Loose puck, and it's scooped up by Clutterbuck as the rebound was there. Tantalizing. McGinn Clutterbuck tried to get a shot away. It hit Grimaldi. Clutterbuck falls down. McGinn back the other way. Leahy sidesteps one, check back in front. Couture sends it towards the net. Lacasse came sliding out on his knees. In front to Leahy. There's a penalty coming as Clutterbuck slowly gets up, and it looks like it's going to be McGinn who heads to the box.
Cal Clutterbuck, of course, is always the pest and manages to do it. Let's take a look at the first penalty that Shea Kewen took, and you see him, and this one's an easy call. He's holding up Ribeiro pretty good there. And then the last one down in the corner, and Clutterbuck follows up with a hit. McGinn doesn't like it, and McGinn actually a bit of a retaliatory push, but the referee saw it, and that'll even up the manpower, and the Generals will be happy with that. With the 20th penalty kill, Brad Selwood, the first thing he says, ask him, Rob, is we got to stay out of the penalty box.
McLean fires one, glove there by Fleuler, and held for the whistle. 6:42 remaining in the opening period. 105 in the Oshawa penalty to Shea Kewen.
And of course, every team has to stay out of the penalty box. When you've got the 20th ranked penalty kill in the league, it becomes a psychological thing too, Rob. All the players know it. That stat is talked about all the time, and you're sweating every time there's a power play for the other team. Jones has given up 117 power play goals this year. Ottawa's given up 80. That's a big difference between two teams that are only 5 points apart, 6 points apart in the standings.
Not much better at home or the road. There's not anything that they've been able to put their finger on. As he said, Brad Selwood told us, he's got to keep the guys out of the box. He says it's not that they don't play hard, they play maybe a little too hard. McLean with Tavares now to Aston on the right side, flips it high. Fleuler had trouble picking it up into the corner. McLean is there, opportunity now. Great save by Fleuler on John Tavares. Regan couldn't control Kiriakou, bothering him, and 4-on-4 right now. Lots of space to generate something. Good, steers it around, bounces. Digging for it is Mitchell as he's trying to push his man around. That's Mark Mathot. Thrown in. Mathot had it knocked away by Aston. Here's Tavares. Tavares coming in, drops it there for Aston. Poking away at it is Cowley. Aston in the corner. In low. Kewen is back on the ice. Power play now for the Generals. In front. Good save. They score on the rebound, and it's Mitchell.
Dale Mitchell has a great speed, and he's got the great energy, and he uses both on this play. Remember, the power play had just started for Oshawa. The extra man is not quite in effect yet, but Mitchell does so much work and finishes it up nicely going to the net. How often do you say go to the net? Here's what it is, going to the net. Puck's in the corner. Aston has it, plays it along the boards, looking. Tavares is at the side. Now watch Aston. Everybody's looking at Tavares. Nobody's looking at Mitchell. He gets two whacks, takes it into the glass, and look at that nifty little move by Aston. Back behind to Tavares, and Tavares doesn't even look. He knows Mitchell's in front. Apparently the 67's didn't. It's 1-0 Oshawa.
Mitchell tried to throw himself through the glass. And again now, let's see if that energizes the Generals. Mitchell gets the goal, his 38th of the season. Just towards Fleuler. Left behind for Sean Ryan. Ryan in the corner. Banks it up, but it's picked off by the Generals, who throw it into the far side. Cowick takes a bump. Able to steer it in behind the Ottawa goal. Chopped around. Laurie took a look at it and decided to hold up, and Demers just eases it in. Thomas Nesbitt is doing some forechecking there, and right in front of his own bench, they start back again. Nesbitt loses it. Sigmiller off the glass, handled without problem by Beard to Grimaldi. Return pass. McGinn one touches it. And again, Lacasse, long way out. Couture almost got it. Here's Beard, his shot right on. Big rebound. Couture fires it right on. Gets a rebound again. Slides it in front. Penalty coming to the Generals. Trying to work a little give and go, and Grimaldi knew it was easier just to get the whistle. Oshawa has the lead, but Ottawa will return on the power play.
We'll make it up.
Cal Clutterbuck of the Oshawa Generals always finishes the check. Sometimes he finishes them a little too much, though. Let's take another look at that. Driving Ottawa player down. 2-minute penalty. Lacasse had to make a good save there, and Cal Clutterbuck takes boarding 15:55 after the Generals went ahead on Dale Mitchell's 38th goal of the season. Power play goal from Tavares and Aston at 14:32.
So a power play goal for the Generals, and now Ottawa with the power play. 0 for 1 today. Turnover. Tavares will scoop it up at the line. Circling back. Eases it ahead, then loses it. Demers to Couture. McGinn swings right down the middle. Leahy goes into the corner with Regan. Overskates it. Comes loose, and it's still the 67th. Getting a shot. Couture as Leahy goes into Lacasse. Cleared up by McLean. Demers will circle up. Back come Derek Jocelyn in across the line. Jocelyn throws it around. Oh, funny bounce off the glass, and it took an Oshawa bounce. Almost given away, though, by Kaverko. To the far side, Tavares couldn't get to it. Controlled by the 67th. They step out. Shot right on. Jumping on it, Lacasse. As he thought that was the best thing to do with Demers. Shot and the rebound. Coming up in the first intermission. A connected update. We'll talk to Jamie McGinn, learn a little bit more about him in a special feature and highlights from the first period.
Oh, sometimes you have to be lucky rather than good, and Ottawa almost got lucky. Look at that shot off the glass. Where's that puck going? Lacasse thought it was going behind the net. Bounced back in front, and fortunately for him, Kaverko was there to steer it aside.
Here's a chance for a 67s, and Lacasse again as Kiriakou snapped one on.
Although Lacasse has been busy, 14 shots on goal, a couple of them certainly the degree of difficulty pretty high. He came over from the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League and has played just about every game since then. And there's that last chance. Quick shot and a quick save.
Still controlling the 67s on the power play for another 35 seconds. Shot from the point. Knocked away as that came off the stick of Boyda. Digging away. Gongalski along the boards. It squirts out. Beard has it. Left point. Shot and reaching out is Lacasse. He's played well. The only knock I have on Lacasse, he seems to drop to his knees too quickly. And there he was on his knees, had to reach up and grab that puck.
And that's the scouting report on him for sure, Rob. He came over. He was released from the Quebec Ramparts. You see there, 181st overall pick in the 6th round by Montreal in the NHL draft. But Patrick Roy was his coach in Quebec and said he's a good goaltender, not a great goaltender. And frankly, that's a pretty good description of what Loic Lacasse is at right now.
Generals control. Snap it by Beard at the point. And this should eat up the final seconds of the penalty to Clutterbuck. 2:05 left to play opening period. 1-0 Oshawa leads on a power play goal by Dale Mitchell. Slides into Generals territory. And here's a chance for Tavares. Taking a fortunate bounce. Spins around. Knocked away. Jocelyn couldn't control it. And it's chipped just out of the zone by Ribeiro. Here comes Nesbitt. Sends it wide. Generals scoop it up. Clutterbuck building some speed. Gets to the line. Clutterbuck opts to shoot. Fleuler holds on. 1:32 left in period number 1.
Cal Clutterbuck, a lot like Dale Mitchell. We saw him earlier. He's got good foot speed as well. Cuts around the Ottawa defense, but cut around a little too far. Made for an easy save for Fleuler, but Cal Clutterbuck is a high energy guy as well. See him take penalties from time to time because of that high energy, but it's not a bad thing.
Sig Miller jumps in. Derek Jocelyn starts it out. Pass on the right side. Leahy's deflected. Bouncing in behind. McGinn goes after it. Can't get to it. It's cleared out. Jocelyn throws it in. Have to clear the zone. McGinn's on side again. Leahy. Forechecking. Tried to finish off his hit from McLean. Final minute in the first period. McLean coming right up the middle. McLean dishes it off. Tavares. Nice little stick move. And a bouncing shot rattled off Clutterbuck. Fleuler able to steer it away. Aston into the corner. Run back up the boards. Aston can't get to it, and here's McGinn. McGinn caught on a line change, just had to backhand it into Jen's territory. Sean Ryan Out to Matt Mathot. Throws it into the corner. Generals trying to control. Give away again in their own zone. Now controlling and clearing it out is Parnell. 13 seconds left in the first period. Lacasse slows it down. Throws it around the glass, and out it comes to center. Dumped in again by Ottawa, and that should eat up the final seconds of the first period. And it does. 20 minutes complete, and a power play goal by Mitchell stands up as the only goal. They're throwing the bodies around. Both of them realize the 2 points important.
An important game, and both teams playing like it's an important game. 16-15 the shots for the Ottawa 67's, but most importantly for the Generals, they killed off a couple of penalties, and that's a big part of their game and the big part of their success when it happens.
Ottawa outshot Oshawa, but it was Oshawa that ended up with the goal. After one period at the General Motors Center, Generals lead 1-0.
This intermission is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. Commentators clothing provided in part by Zizania. Available at Mondo Uomo.
Hi, everybody. Greg Ross back here in the Sportsnet studios. We'll go back to Oshawa for the second period momentarily, but first let's check in with a little NHL action. The Penguins taking on the Flyers this afternoon, second period. 2-0 Philly as the Pens power play expires here. Gary Roberts picking up the rebound, bearing his 14th of the year, but more importantly, his first as a Penguin. They were down 2-1. Then on the power play, Roberts again back to Eric Christensen, who wires it past Marty Biron for his 12th. That tied the game at 2. Third period, 3-2 Philly. Christensen again, Johnny on the spot, banging in his second of the game, 13th of the season. That would tie it at 3, send it to overtime, which solves nothing. So we go to the shootout, and here's Sid the Kid for the win. Oh, he goes 5-hole on Marty Biron, just like he did the other night for the win, as the Penguins picking up the 4-3 victory and picking up 2 more important points as they close in on Ottawa for 4th in the Eastern Conference. Marty Biron, 35 saves in a losing cause. Be sure to join us for Sportsnet Connected following this broadcast of the OHL on Rogers Sportsnet with RJ Broadhead. Plenty of more NHL action to throw your way. John Tavares with the centering pass to Dale Mitchell, who buries his 38th. It's 1-0 Oshawa through 1.
More CHL action on Rogers Sportsnet comes your way tonight at 7 Eastern. Drummondville and Gatineau. It's Quebec League face-off. You can see it with Peter Labardius and Sam Cosentino. Along with Roger Lajoie, I'm Rob Faulds. After 20 minutes at the very nice building that the Oshawa Generals call home, they have a 1-0 lead. We're pleased to be joined by Brett McLean. Boy, this is a tough first 20 for you guys. Oshawa and Ottawa have come out bouncing bodies.
Yeah, well, you know, we knew it was going to be a tight game coming in. They're trying to catch us in the standings, and we knew they were coming out hitting, and we had to go hit for hit with them, and so far it's been pretty good for us.
Right, nobody makes excuses about travel in this league, but you got in at 3:20 in the morning. That's got to be difficult. When did you get up and get ready for this one?
Well, you had to get up early enough, so you could walk around, get your legs back, and get something to eat. So it wasn't very much sleep last night, but you can't use that as an excuse. You got to come out and play as hard as you can.
It's been a tough 6-game spell for you. Looking to break that losing streak. What's it going to take?
We just got to work hard and keep it simple out there, and that's what we've been doing so far, so hopefully tonight will be the night.
Well, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Brett McLean has his team in the lead on a power play goal by Mitchell. 1-0 after 20 in Oshawa. Time now for the play of the first period, brought to you by Easton Sports. The world's best players choose Easton.
And the lone goal of the period is our play of the period. Look at Peter Aston take his time. Backhand pass by Tavares. Mitchell sneaks in. That's how you score on the power play. Another look. Aston with the backhand. Tavares with the backhand. He spotted Mitchell before the 67's defense did. Mitchell makes it 1-0.
So Oshawa leads 1-0. A man you have to watch is number 88, Jamie McGinn. His coach says all he does is work and hit and never quit. Really, with the way he grew up, you shouldn't be surprised that Jamie McGinn is having success.
For Jamie McGinn, being active was just a natural fit for his family. One of 3 boys raised by Bob and Corey McGinn in Fergus, Ontario, sports was the center of his world from an early age.
Just growing up, just a big sports family. I have 2 younger brothers that are in hockey too, and my dad was a big lacrosse player and a hockey player, so he always had the backyard rink for us growing up, and we were out there all the time. And then I kind of moved on to play my minor midget year and draft years for a Toronto team, so I could get scouted a little better, and it helped me out a lot. And that's how I got to Ottawa, and that's when it really clicked in, and I had a shot to do something with it. So I just had to keep working hard, and it's got me where I am today.
The hard work paid off big time for Jamie in 2005. His rookie year with Ottawa saw the 16-year-old and his team ride a playoff run all the way to a Memorial Cup appearance.
Hewlett, Elgin Reed jumps up, McGinn to the front of the net, scores! Jamie McGinn, second of the tournament.
Well, it was just something, like you said, not many people get to do, and as a 16-year-old and a rookie, it was just great to play on the line with Talbot and Hewlett, going to the Memorial Cup, playing on the first line, and we were the underdogs, so no one thought we were going to win a game, and so all we had to do, no pressure, just go out there and play hard every night, and we won one against Kelowna, and that was pretty special for the boys.
Jamie followed up that breakout year with a solid sophomore effort last season, and now finds himself putting up his best numbers yet as a member of the 67's. For Ottawa head coach Brian Kilray, Jamie's success is not really a huge surprise.
He just competes. When he's on the ice, he'll compete for the puck, whether it's in a corner, whether it's in front of the net, the tough going places, whether it's on the boards, taking a hit or giving a hit. He competes, and I think that's his biggest asset.
That hard work ethic has served Jamie McGinn very well in his hockey career so far, and he knows it is something he will have to keep up if he wants to make that next step one day.
Well, I just gotta make sure I play my game and be effective every night. Like, my game's a gritty style. Like, I like to play like Gary Roberts. That's who I looked up to when I was younger. Just being a Leafs fan, I had to pick someone off that team, so I just like the way he worked. So I take his game into my game, and I make sure I work hard every shift, make sure I'm finishing my checks, and just going to net hard. I don't score the prettiest goals out there, but you know, as long as the effort's there, then I'm happy, and I know Coach Kilray is happy too.
Well, if he likes to work, having Gary Roberts as a role model, not a bad one to choose at all. Right now, the hometown fans happy. Oshawa leads Ottawa 1-0 after 1.
This intermission is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. The Canadian Hockey League on Rogers Sportsnet. Brought to you by Buckley's. It tastes awful, and it works. And by Rogers Wireless, the latest MP3 and camera phones only from Rogers.
I'll tell you, look at the first period. Dale Mitchell scored his 38th of the year from Tavares at Aston. It was a power play goal at 14:32. Ottawa out shooting Oshawa 16-15 after 20 minutes. And Roger, we saw pretty good pace with the hits coming out early in that 20 minutes, and it kind of settled down. Picked up again when the goal was scored.
Yeah, the goal will usually do that. Got some life into the building and some life into the Generals, and the power play is so important. You know, you take a look at it, Rob. How many goals in this league now are either scored on the power play or a 5-on-3 or even on 4-on-4? And Brad Selwood knows that better than anybody else. The Generals have to win the power play battle, so they don't usually win the game, and so far they've won that battle.
Tavares and Couture from the face-off, won by Couture. Fired by the 67's and flipped up and over. McGinn goes racing after it. Lacasse again wanders. Leahy couldn't hold it. Voida sees it slide by him. Thrown to the far corner as they clear the zone. Regan tries to fire it out and does. He's sent right back in again. Verco sidesteps a hit but got rid of the puck. Cleared ahead. John Tavares swings in across the line, dropped it for Clutterbuck, but was picked off neatly by Couture. Slides all the way back to Lacasse. Loic Lacasse again challenges there as McGinn came on him, was able to get the pass away. Here's Tavares with McLean across the line. Tavares tries to go inside outside. McLean comes in, couldn't get the shot away. Puck picked up by the 67's. Leahy now to McGinn. Knocked right out of the zone, sent right back in again. Verco sends it back. Regan to McLean. touches it, and it slides into Ottawa territory. Grimaldi is there. Across the beard to Grimaldi again, rolls off the blade of his stick, but he's able to get it past Liskin, who just sidestepped a hit, and there's going to be a penalty to the Generals. Brown. Here's an opportunity. Whistled down right at the blue line. Brown was a little too aggressive with his body check. Almost shades of what Cam Jansen did. You know, the puck had already been delivered.
Well, how many times do you see, when you're finishing up, you want that, but that check is way high, and those are the dangers. You want to finish the checks, you want to get that aggression into the game, but you've got to protect the players, and when you get up high, it's usually a penalty, and that's what happens. And the Generals are going to have to kill a penalty, and Brad Selwood knows how tough that is for his team.
What's the first thing we said? They got to stay out of the penalty box, and they're back in it again. There's a shot, comes in and deflected, and Lacasse lost it as Jocelyn took the shot through a crowd. Kiriakou in the corner. Jocelyn throws it around the boards. Scott Cowie is in there along with Mathot. Mathot tries to work it to Cowie in front. That's Parnham who intercepts it, clears it out. Grongalski gets to the Ottawa line, and it's dumped right back in again by Delory. 67's control. Cowie rolls off his stick. He's got a little skating room. Guy puts on the brakes, waiting for some help. Regan pushing him into the corner. Played around by Kiriakou to the other side. Corey Nagy is there. Is able to clear it down the ice. Grimaldi in behind his own net. He'll start it out. Deals it away. The pass, though, not able to be handled by Jocelyn, and it's dumped back in again by Corey Nagy. Play. Here's it ahead. Here comes Couture. Swings wide. A backhander knocked into the goal by Siegmiller. Siegmiller was trying to reach ahead and knocked it in behind Lacasse, and this game is tied. Ouch.
Oh, ouch is right for Siegmiller and the Generals. Let's watch this play develop. It's an innocent looking play over the blue line. Now there's the backhand shot, but watch, Siegmiller just tries to get a glove on it to keep it away, and he gloves it in the net. If he was an Ottawa player, the goal wouldn't have counted. There's the backhand, and Siegmiller's trying to steer that puck away, and he steers it right in. That is a killer for the Generals. Ties it up at 1-1.
You see Siegmiller, there's no place to hide in a case like that, is there?
There won't be a place to hide for the next couple of days. Logan Couture will get credit for the goal, his 22nd of the season. You'll get teased and teased over that one, Rob, for quite a while. Tough break, but a big break for Ottawa.
Tied at 1 now. That goal coming at 2:40 of the second period. It's loose in the Ottawa zone and then chipped off the glass. Eric Regan chasing after it along with Ribeiro. Regan will leave it there. Generals start back out. Caberco backhands it in. Caberco takes some punishment. Free can't control. Racing after it. There's Kewen. Controlling now. Howard. It's Howard, Kewen, and Freeline has been pesky, to say the least. Ribeiro turns, fires it in. Controlled now by the Generals. Free has it slide off his stick into Ottawa territory. Throwing it around the boards with Sean Ryan. Rink right pass. Here's a chance now for Liskin. Liskin trying to get around his man. Kiriakou is there. He tries to steer it ahead. Aston bounces his man right back to Kiriakou. Loose puck, and off the side. It's still loose. Great opportunity here for the 67's Brent Liskin. Now trying to sweep out a backhander there. Lacasse is without his stick. Kiriakou in behind. Waits, tries to hit the side of the net, and it's squeezed there by Lacasse for the break. A great opportunity for the 67's. They come up empty. Drummondville and Gatineau can be seen tonight on Rogers Sportsnet. More CHL action for you from the Q, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time on all channels with Peter Labardius and Sam Cosentino.
Logan Lacasse without his stick, but had the presence of mind to stay with that, as the 67's have some life now after that batted in goal by Siegmiller.
Here's one, takes a strange little move, and loose. They jam it in.
Lacasse is going to complain he was interfered with, and the stick was knocked out of his hand by an Ottawa player. They may take this one upstairs, Rob. Brad Selwood looks on and wonders if they will go upstairs. Let's have a look at it. There's Lacasse. Now the stick's still in his hand. Watch, it slips out, but it's not knocked out by anybody. There's an Ottawa player down in the crease. And Mathot finishing it up with the shot. Another look from the other side. Kiriakou had the first whack at it. Lacasse was down. Now was he pushed back down? That is what Lacasse's complaint. Liscombe was there. He slid into Lacasse, but is that enough for interference? And looks like they're not even going upstairs.
No, they haven't even made an effort to go. So Mathot will get the goal, his 18th of the year. And it's now 2-1 for the 67's. And this is one where the young kids on the Oshawa team just have to suck it up and go, okay, we had a bad goal scored against us. Let's not lose any composure.
Well, and that's it. You build on momentum in this game, especially in junior hockey with younger players, and you get a real fluke goal like the one the 67's got. And by the way, it was Couture's 22nd of the year on the power play from Leahy at 2:40. Take another look at it here. I'm sure Siegmiller doesn't want to see this, or the last goal, pardon me, for Ottawa. There's Kiriakou batting away at it. Doesn't look like there's any interference. Lacasse is just with a player in front of him, so there was no argument there. But Ottawa builds on that momentum, Rob.
And you can see Liscombe try to get out of the way.
Referee saw it that way as well and did not even bother to go look at the replay that we've seen a couple of times. And Logan Couture is going to score a lot of goals in the OHL. That was his 22nd. I don't think that will be on his personal highlight reel, though.
No. He'd like to actually be more
involved in the shooting.
Penalty coming up.
And Leahy is in the box for the 67, so
that might be delay of game.
Yeah, shooting the puck into the stands.
Again, fights for it, but it comes out to Clutterbuck for the Generals. Eric Regan. Off the boards, Tavares. They hit the Clutterbuck. Clutterbuck swings wide left side. Tried to jam it in. That side was shut down as McLean was there. Not able to keep it in as Aston. Regan on the near side. Regan again. McLean who sweeps it in. Tavares goes around to the far side to deal with it off the boards. Clutterbuck in off the boards, right in front. McLean gets one shot at it. Fluter was able to stay with him. Didn't allow that opening. 1 minute left in the penalty. To Leahy. McLean goes racing after it, flying with Beard. Maldi tries to chip it ahead and does, and then it's cleared out by Kiriakou. Cass again comes a long way out to slow it down for Aston. Couture on the penalty kill. McLean stops it. Tavares tries to steer it ahead. Now McGinn. It's not a bad penalty killing unit of McGinn and Couture. Turn a little defense into offense quickly.
A lot of teams in the league use their best forwards to kill penalties. Ottawa and Oshawa does that. Tavares kills a lot of penalties in Oshawa as well.
And Galski almost had it knocked away by Couture. 14 seconds left. Leahy in the penalty box. Generals trying to get some speed. Galski gets around, fires it down. Mitchell, who's got the Oshawa goal, chops at it. It's in the corner. Trying to step out of that corner. There's Parna. Now they try to jam it in short side. Penalty is over. It's cleared down the ice. We will get the whistle. 2 goals by Ottawa. 2:40 and at 4:14, and all of a sudden 67's have the lead.
67's charge the net. There's the shot on the goal. Kiriakou trying to get. Look at the traffic in front of Lacasse, but there's no interference there. And coming up is Mathot to one-time it to give Brian Kilrea's 67's a 2-1 lead in the Oshawa Generals.
As you said, with an earlier result with Brampton winning, Ottawa knows that they need these 2 points even more now.
The gap is just 2 points now between Ottawa and Brampton as we speak for that final playoff spot.
Brampton beating Sudbury earlier today. In the Ottawa zone, trying to step up with Pingalski. And Mitchell sweeps it ahead, but look what I found. Says Liscombe. Steers it ahead. I thought was trying to get to it, but it's whistled down on the icing. 12:48 left to play in the opening period. This is the 4th time these two sides have met, and as we mentioned right off the top, they have 3 games against one another. Ottawa won in a shootout October 22nd. Then they had a home-and-home series, and Oshawa swept it.
8-2 in that second game in Oshawa, but the teams finish up the final weekend of the season with 2 games in Ottawa on Friday night and Saturday afternoon. An unusual twist to the schedule, which related to the opening of this new building in Oshawa, and that's why it finishes that way. And that's an advantage for the 67's, Rob. They finished with 3 straight home games.
Turning, trying to get loose. Corey Cowick. Cowick still being watched there by Grimaldi. Drops it into the corner. Trying to spin out his Nagy. Nagy tries to step out. And knocking the puck away was Fluller. And the 67 start back. Long shot steered away by Lacasse. That one not an enthusiastic shot by Thomas Nesbitt. It bounces in and Lacasse gathers it up.
Well, Loic Lacasse came over from the Quebec Major Junior Hockey League at pickup. The Generals have used 9 goaltenders in the last 3 years trying to find a legitimate #1. Brad Selwood thinks it's Loic Lacasse, and he has put all his eggs in one basket with him. He has played all but 2 games in the 27 games since he came to Oshawa.
They have Mark Packwood. Well, Packwood's only seen action 19 games from Kitchener last season. Stepping in, Generals trying to find a little room there. They can't seem to find much. Cowick is squeezed out of the play, and Nesbitt comes up with the puck. Nesbitt steers it ahead. Kaverko knocks him down and pick up equipment as the Generals started out. Cowick just steers it into 67's territory. Beard sweeps in behind, takes a bit of a bump there by Hasse. Back they come. Couture tried to center it. He had McGinn all alone on the other side. The pass didn't get through. McGinn turns, fires it in. Lacasse couldn't get hold of it. Leahy. Bouncer by Kaverko, but Leahy still controls. And turned too many times, and it's cleared away by the defender. McLean turned around by Grimaldi just in front of the line. Jocelyn's got it. Jocelyn ahead to Leahy. Leahy, rink-wide pass. Taking it in on the backhand was McGinn. He couldn't control and knocked out by Aston. Steered around the boards. Clutterbuck goes after, gives Leahy a bump, but it looks like he was a little worse for wear. Aston now to Brown. Greg Brown. Second game for the Generals. And across the line, Brown at Clutterbuck. Slow to get up. He was rocked. Grimaldi flips it high into Oshawa territory. Aston had to sweep it out of the way on pressure by Kiriako. McLean send it behind the net, and they'll start to get their offense together from behind the net. And it's behind Aston, but McLean fortunately scoops it up again. There with Tavares. Knocked away Liskon. Backhands it out of the zone. It bounces in again. And Clutterbuck touches it, and it's whistled down. Clutterbuck took a bit of a shot as the puck was going into Oshawa territory. He was a little slow to get up.
And the fans wanted a penalty, of course. A lot of hooting. Clutterbuck does that a lot.
2-1 the score. The 67's lead the Generals from General Motors Center.
Cal Clutterbuck had a good reason to go down. Look at that stick get him up high from Grimaldi. No call. Let's watch it again. Stick comes up right across the face. Clutterbuck goes down, shaking his head, still on the bench, wondering how that one was called.
And that was the official just cruising in behind Sean Reed and didn't get the call. Turnaround shot picked off by the Generals. They start back with Gengalski. Loses it at the Ottawa line. Beard scoops it up. Mathot off the boards and into Generals territory, and it's whistled down again. 9:38 left to play in the second period. 67's lead. Following hockey, it is Sportsnet Connected with RJ Broadhead. He'll have highlights from 8 NHL games. Blue Jays and Devil Rays mix it up in St. Petersburg, and of course the misplays of the week always on Connected. That's on Ontario after the game. Mitchell controls. Parnham tries to squeeze in. Mathot takes him out, and we lose a linesman over the boards. He's back into play. Galski battles forward in the corner. 67's now have it. Liskon throws it right on, gloved by Lacasse, and then he decides to hold on.
Got to have your head up if you're playing in this league, even if you're a linesman, apparently. Let's watch this. And Van Buxton goes down. And look at the Generals player helping him out there. That's all right. Peter Aston helping him out.
Ben Buxton disappeared and then reappeared.
Well, the referees take a lot of punishment. They work hard. They take a lot of abuse as well. Most of it verbal.
Lillard couldn't control it, but the 67th tried to dump it out. Nesbitt stopped it enough that Cowie jumped on it. Coming back, there's a shot. Oh, look at the leather there. Ribeiro snapped it away, and Lacasse made the save.
Loic Lacasse saw that shot all the way and makes a nice glove save. Ribeiro comes down, streaks down, nice pass in, fires, and Lacasse sticks out the glove. There's a little room between that post, and it was covered up, and a nice save by Loic Lacasse doing the splits.
Well, maybe after being with Patrick Roy last year, kind of dressed that the way Roy would too.
You would learn a little bit with a coach like that, I would suspect, especially in practice, Ron.
Grimaldi throws it around. Lacasse slows it, uses the glass, and it's knocked in again by Grimaldi, but bounces. A fortunate bounce off a General. Back comes Oshawa, trying to lead it ahead. Free got tied up with Grimaldi. Puck lies loose, and it is Oshawa who controls. Ottawa very quick just to scoop it up and send it down the ice. Regan fires it ahead. Free one touches it. Tried to get it ahead to him, too far. Cleared up by Beard. Long lead pass now for McGinn. McGinn can't get to it. The whistle does blow. Less than 8 minutes to play in the second period. Ottawa with 2 goals at 2:40 from Couture, a power play effort, and then Matt and the Thought at 4:14 put the 67's ahead.
You notice in the OHL there's an automatic icing rule. There's much discussion in the National Hockey League. Don Cherry leading the way as to why that is not a rule in the NHL. And that is an excellent point. Why is that not a rule in the NHL? How many injuries have we seen over the years, and how many more are we going to see that could be eliminated with no touch icing?
Boyda steers it ahead. Now to Leahy. To Couture, weak backhander. Ashton was watching him and was cleared up, and Voida just fires right back in again. Tavares swings wide, tied up by McGinn, loses the puck. Couture comes back. Drops to McGinn, to Couture again, in front. Leahy was too deep, couldn't do anything. Here's an odd man rush, a 3-on-1 if they get it working. Clutterbuck comes in, eases it over, and missing the net. We got John Tavares. Couture. His crossing pass was knocked down by the Generals, who just had a brilliant opportunity to tie the game. Tavares goes inside, outside, bouncing puck. Tavares always around the puck. Clutterbuck goes after it. Loose again. Here's Tavares to the side of the net. Tried to jam it in. Sticking at the right leg quickly was Fleury. Siegmiller across the way to Delory. Now to McLean. Chops at it. Tavares now. Here's Mitchell with that speed. Mitchell backhander. Rebound. Cleared out by Beard. Brody Beard knew that it was the best thing to do. Just get it out of our zone.
Well, the Generals finally get some pressure in the Ottawa zone. Generals were looking a little tired, showing a little bit of life, and who else but Dale Mitchell showing the life. Nice little move to get that backhand shot off, and a good stop. And here's John Tavares coming down as well. Watch him down the right side. Look out, quick shot, and cutting across. Tavares didn't get everything he wanted on that shot, but Fuller was alert nonetheless.
Mitchell turns out of the corner. Flips it to the opposite side. Nobody there in a white jersey. But still having trouble clearing the zone. Biscombe's got it. Going around the boards and out of play, out of the zone rather, by Jocelyn. Sent right back in by the Generals. Jocelyn will try it again, this time carrying it. Loses it. Back down through the Ottawa line. 6 minutes left to play, second period. Kiriakou has it, hit him. Here's Parnham. Parnham comes in, his shot, and Fleury sees it all the way and puts the grab on. 5:55 left to play in the second. Ottawa leading Oshawa 2-1. New digs for the Oshawa Generals here at the brand spanking new General Motors Center, and it's been a pretty good place for Oshawa.
Great place to play for them. 18-8-4 at home, 9-17-3 on the road, which is so important for the Generals to get home ice advantage. Rob, if they finish 4th in the conference, they'll get the extra home game. You see that discrepancy between the record. That could be huge for this hockey team.
Sounds like the Calgary Flames.
A lot of teams like that. Most teams like to play more at home than they do on the road.
2-1 the score. Ottawa leading Oshawa with 5 minutes 40 seconds remaining. Howard goes after the puck. Kiriakou tries to hold him against the end boards. He comes up with it, spins in front, loose puck again. Keelan couldn't get to it. Shot comes from the point right off the noggin of Fleuler. There's a little soccer there. He headed that. Howard battles for it along the boards. Free has got it. Howard again goes after it. Kiriakou tries to steer it around. Free gathers it up now. It's ping-ponging around. Finally Nesbitt. He drags it in and takes a bump. Nice hit there by Kaverko on it. Keelan back the other direction. We've got a fight right in front of Lacasse. And throwing rights, Thomas Nesbitt.
Kaverko there for Oshawa. Now Kaverko is the one throwing most of the punches. Pretty good tilt.
Well, he switched to the left hand and started to benefit from it. So that happened right in front of Lacasse. He had the best view as Nesbitt and Kaverko got mixed up.
Kaverko with the big smile, and Nesbitt checks the lip and the nose to make sure there's no cut. And both of them very anxious to get going. Kaverko is being skated over to the Generals dressing room, but there's 4:56 to go in the period, and that's why. And Brian Kilray with a bit of a smile there. And a hit got this fight going and got the crowd going behind the net. Kaverko takes a hit from Nesbitt. He doesn't like it, has a word for Nesbitt. Nesbitt says, yeah, you don't like it? And Kaverko says, let's go. And both of them go. And Rob, as you said, Nesbitt got those first 4 or 5 punches in before Kaverko switched hands and then took over in the second half of that fight.
Well, young men. Watch this shot off Fleuler.
High, and then Fleuler
just... He did. He headed it.
Soccer.
He did.
Sign him up for Toronto FC.
Well, Fleuler might have a bit of experience in this. He's from Cloton, Switzerland. So I'm pretty sure that he's done that before.
He's played some soccer, took one off the noggin, and anything to do to keep it out. He has been solid, stopping 20 of 21 shots here this afternoon.
Hey, part of the equipment, might as well.
Whatever it takes to keep it out.
Rare white masks ranked 4th among the OHL goaltenders. Strange to see that unpainted mask. Here's the 67's into the Oshawa zone, and there's a penalty coming.
Well, McGinn and Couture do their usual work, and they, of course, I thought it was an Oshawa penalty. It's an Ottawa penalty. So the 67's go to the box. Let's take a look right in front of the goal. There's McGinn with it, and there's, yes, Leahy cross-checking right in front. And he'll sit for 2 minutes at 15:15 of this second period. And they'll move the face-off outside the Oshawa blue line. Tavares out there for Oshawa.
Right now, this has been a pretty good almost 2 periods for the Ottawa 67's, which you call a perfect road game. Clutterbuck trying to get a little speed going. It comes through to the net. Clutterbuck couldn't control. I know Brian Kilray likes to see effort. He's getting it now. Nice move by Couture. Comes in. Good save by Lacasse, and the rebound scooped up by Regan.
Boy, did Couture go around Regan there and got that shot off.
That was pretty to watch. Jocelyn scoops up the puck, fires it out, bounces it center. Tavares is there with Regan. Now to Clutterbuck. He swings the other way, cuts back to the middle, loses the puck. Tavares is there to steer it in, but no, they call it offside. 4:05 left to play in the second. Coming up at the intermission, there's a connected update for you. An interview with Logan Couture and highlights from the second period. All that coming up in the intermission, and this was his opportunity just moments ago.
That's why we want to talk to him. Look, on him undress Eric Regan. Regan didn't know where the puck was, looked through his skates, and it was on Couture's stick. Nice play by number 89.
Kiriakou clears it out. Lacasse leaves it for Regan. Generals on the power play with a minute to go. McLean couldn't handle it. It was cleared out by the 67's, and Regan backs up. Picked off. A pass by McLean, and Cowie heaves it on the backhand back into Oshawa territory. And I sense the natives getting a little restless, Roger.
Well, they want to see the Generals show a little more urgency on this power play. Well, they're a little slow coming up ice.
There's a shot. They score. Clutterbuck. And Fluler went down to his knees, left the room up top, and this game is tied on a power play goal.
And the natives are no longer restless thanks to Cal Clutterbuck. Regan sets it up at center. Innocent looking pass. Clutterbuck comes in. Innocent looking shot, really, and he went down. The puck went up high. Let's look at it closer. Just outside the faceoff circle. Oh, Fuller wishes he had that one back, I am sure. And Cal Clutterbuck ties it up.
16th power play goal for Clutterbuck, 31st of the season. A tie game.
Well, we talk about Clutterbuck loves to take the hits, loves to be physically involved, but he produces offensively as well, Rob. He's one of the top point getters on this club as well, and gets those big goals. Nothing terrific about that goal, just a shot from the faceoff circle. If you don't know what to do with the puck, put it at the net. And his 31st of the season has tied this one up.
3:18 left to play, second period. That goal coming at 16:39. Clutterbuck's 31st, 16 on the power play. Whistle down.
And that has the crowd here at the General Motors Center very happy. Close to capacity here today, in the neighborhood of 5,500 here in Oshawa.
For a couple of reasons, as they raised the Memorial Cup banner from 1990 and the J. Ross Robertson banner. They also honored our Canadian troops.
12 OHL championships, 4 Memorial Cups, and more than 150 NHL alumni have worn the Oshawa Generals jersey over the years, and that's a lot of success and a lot of history.
Mitchell took the mouth guard out so he could complain and be heard.
Yeah, it loses a lot of effect if you try to argue with the referee. It just doesn't work for you.
Actually, I think the referees like that a lot better. All they do is just nod all the time.
That's the way.
Tied at 2, less than 3 to play. Ottawa races into the Oshawa zone. In the corner, Kiriakou steers it through him. I thought was not in the right spot for it. Gengowski, good move. Gengowski comes in, tried to turn it back in front. Loose puck. Parnham tries to heave it up. He can't. Not out though. General shot deflected. And cleared just over the line past Mitchell. Back the other way, Liscombe. Liscombe waits. It's a nifty little move, but he just takes himself into the corner with it. As it knocked away, Delory goes after. Turning away with Scott Cowie from a hit. Puck is loose, and it's the General. Siegmiller steers it gently across the Ottawa line. Back down into Oshawa territory. Siegmiller chasing everyone with Scott Cowie. Good work by Cowie. Puck loose behind Lacasse. Free jumps on it, steers it ahead for Mitchell, and it's knocked into the Ottawa bench off the stick of the defender Demers, who was backing up.
Well, Brian Kilray loves the work of Demers. He's physically involved, makes sensible decisions out there, and so much of the game, of course, with a guy like Brian Kilray is hockey sense. You hear that term all the time. What does that mean? Well, that's smart decision making when you've only got a second or two to make the decision. And a guy who's seen 30 years in the OHL as a head coach knows a little bit about what makes a smart hockey player.
30 years for Killer behind the bench. The 67's have been around for 40.
What was he doing the other 10?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Slumming.
1,000 wins, 1,100 wins and counting, actually, in more than 2,000 games. Remarkable, remarkable man.
Oh, no wonder he wasn't happy. I congratulated him on his 20,000th game.
Did you really?
No. He says it just seems like that, Robbie, sometimes. When the bus rides are long after a bad trip.
Oh, he loves them. Don't kid yourself.
Puts his Anne Murray tape in, he's good to go.
If he ever does retire, he's going to have a bus seat put in his bedroom so he can sleep.
Bounces in and out across the line. Aston turns. You know, that might just happen, too.
Oh, it's got to.
Rink-wide pass stumped in.
All those naps, it's the only way you can sleep. Sitting up.
Last minute of play in the second period. That one hit Clutterbuck in the back of the head, but they were able to drag it across the line. Clutterbuck's right there again. He's got the tying goal. Cleared back to center. Leahy tries to get it. Brown throws it across. Demers. 9 irons that. Helped out though by a teammate. 40 seconds left. Here's a chance now. McGinn almost able to cough that and push that through. Dumped right back in again by the 67's. They'll get the whistle with 31 seconds left to play in the second.
Well, you get late in the second period. I like to call this a red zone, Rob. 2 minutes left in a period, or the first 2 minutes of a period, and it is so crucial to not get scored on because momentum is such a big part of it. We talk about fatigue. Ottawa's got 9 forwards, but the Generals came back at 3:20 in the morning. You feel a lot less tired when you've got the lead as opposed to when you're trailing. Ottawa's going to be very careful of this faceoff here.
Tavares takes the draw, wins it past McLean. McLean, though, benefits from Regan keeping it in at the point. McLean drops it low, trying to get it to Clutterbuck. He's trying to get free, and it squirts out down into Oshawa territory. Delory is there for it. Has trouble banking it. Here's a chance for McGinn as he was sliding right to the front of the net. Again, trying to get it to the front of the net was Couture out there with Liskin and McGinn. Right on, handled there by Fluler, and a good move. He left it there so it would eat up the final seconds. A little more intensity at times in this game. Tied at 2 now.
It's gone back and forth, and the Generals with that big goal to tie it up by Clutterbuck after they look to be sleeping for a couple of minutes, but sets the stage for a pretty good third period to come. The shots are 26-22 for Ottawa. The score is 2-2.
And with it tied at 2, both these teams needing the 2 points. Second intermission, tied at 2 in Oshawa.
Commentators' clothing provided in part by Zizania. Available at Mondo Uomo.
Hi, everybody. Greg Ross back here in the Sportsnet studio. Still a period of hockey to play between the Oshawa Generals and the Ottawa 67's. We'll send you back to Oshawa very shortly. But first, let's check in with some action in the NHL. The Red Wings hosting the Avalanche. Second period, Milan Hajduk redirecting the pass to beat Osgood for his 25th. It was 1-0 Avs. Third period now 2-1. Chris Draper turns and fires it past Budaj for his 11th, and we were tied at 2. Wings looking for more. Budaj making the stop, and then robbing Josh Langfield on the replay. That's worth another look. Budaj getting over a beautiful stop there. Tied at 3. We'd go to overtime. Avs on the 2-on-1. Hajduk over to Brad Richardson, who gets a couple of whacks before it trickles in for his 10th. And that would give the Avs the 4-3 victory. Peter Budaj making 31 saves for the win. It was Osgood making 23 stops in a losing cause for the Red Wings. Other action in the NHL, it was the Pittsburgh Penguins hosting the Philadelphia Flyers, and the Pens needing a shootout to win this one, and it was Sid the Kid, the third and final shooter for the Penguins, getting it done once again. That's his second straight shootout goal as the Penguins pick up 2 important points in that Eastern Conference race. They are chasing the Ottawa Senators, who were one of the other teams in action in the NHL, and you can catch the highlights of that game on Sportsnet Connected with RJ Broadhead coming up right after this game.
Canadian Hockey League on Rogers Sportsnet comes your way tonight at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time. Coast to coast, Drummondville and Gatineau with Peter Loubardias and Sam Cosentino. Very good game here in Oshawa right now. The Generals and 67's tied at 2. Logan Couture joins us. And Logan, is this one of those goals that you'll remember forever, that tying goal here? You just wanted to get it close to the net.
Yeah, actually, I told Killer when I got to the bench I was working on it in practice all this week, so he had a little laugh. But, at the next face-off, I told Tavares to thank Siegmiller for me, and I scored one Friday night just like that from behind the net, too. So, it's always nice to get those ones and the bouncer going your way.
Well, they all count. You get a lot of legitimate goals, so you don't have to apologize for that. How you feeling physically, Logan? It's been a tough season. You missed some time with mono. You've had the 2 knee injuries. You just got back into the lineup Friday. How are you physically?
I'm getting better each day, each practice, and each game, obviously. And tonight we only have 3 lines, so there's a lot of ice out there, and I'm feeling a little bit right now to the second. So, but I just have to work hard each shift, every practice, and everything, just to get back to where I was before.
It's one of those situations where every game vitally important. You need the 2 points to keep those playoff hopes alive.
Yeah, definitely. Peterborough and Brampton are right behind us, 4 points. I think both of them are. So, we lost Friday, didn't get any points, so tonight's huge for us coming to this third. We need at least 1, so hopefully we can pot a couple.
Logan, stay well the rest of the season.
Thanks a lot.
Logan Couture, he's got 1 goal as Ottawa and Oshawa are tied at 2 after 40 minutes. Welcome back to the fabulous new home of the Oshawa Generals, the General Motors Center with Roger Lajoie. I'm Rob Faulds. Here we are 2-2 after 40 minutes of play, Roger. You've got a depleted Ottawa bench. They basically got 3 lines and 6D. You've got an Oshawa team that didn't get home till around 3:30 this morning. Which one had the best sleep, I think, might be the determining factor for the third period.
And which team maybe can do without the less sleep, Rob. But one thing about it, both teams are kind of in the same boat. You're absolutely right. Ottawa has a shortage of players, so a lot of guys have played a lot more hockey than they're used to. The Generals are just tired, period, after that bus trip last night. But you know what? The score's tied 2-2. I think they'll find the extra energy here. Both these teams see how close they are to 2 points, and both teams know how important these 2 points are.
And we've talked about that throughout this game, and that's why we're seeing a tighter game than perhaps we might have seen with the likes of Couture and Jamie McGinn and those people, and Tavares, who can score.
It's defense first. Not only can Tavares score, he can set it up. Look at Aston and Tavares. Tavares with that backhand pass. Mitchell finishes it off. Watch the pass by Tavares. How does he know Mitchell's there? He doesn't even see him. Instinct. Mitchell finishes it off, almost goes through the glass, and makes it 1-0. And we get on to the second period, and action went back and forth again. Watch Tavares. One hand, Rob. One hand on that stick on the pass. See it? He goes to it. One hand on the stick, and it's a great pass over to McLean. People wonder why he's so good. Logan Couture is pretty good, but he had nothing to do with this goal. Look at the smile. And look at Siegmiller. That says it all. Couture with the big grin and Siegmiller off the glove. Here's Lacasse now. He thought he was interfered with here, but he wasn't. And Mathot took advantage with the goal. Another look at it. A lot of traffic in front. And Mathot finishing it up with a quick bang in. And then the 67's. Look at that glove save by Lacasse. Cal Clutterbuck now for Oshawa. Boy, Fuller wishes he had that one back. Innocent looking shot just outside the face-off circle. That tied it up, got the crowd back in the game, and you can hear him. Cal Clutterbuck back in the game, and the Generals tie it up at 2-2.
Second period scoring summary brought to you by Vaughn, where performance meets protection. 2-2 after 2 periods of play on Support the Troops Day here at General Motors Center. Some of Canada's military on hand, and of course everybody's sporting red to support our troops. Tied at 2. Well, the fans on hand to see the Ottawa 67's in town against the Oshawa Generals. It's tied at 2, and across the line, Tavares to McLean. He snaps it. Bounces, takes a fortunate bounce for Oshawa, but McLean puts it right on the stick of Leahy. Past Couture and then dumped right back down the other direction. With Roger Lajoie, I'm Rob Faulds. Kaverko and Nesbitt come out of the penalty boxes there. Mixed it up late in the second.
We'll see what the tone of this game physically is here early in the third, Rob. As we mentioned, we talked about all afternoon, but it is a storyline of this game. Both teams with some fatigue. The Generals in late last night. Ottawa playing with just 9 forwards, rolling those lines. Now it's gut check time. Who wants to win, and conditioning. Who's in better shape right now?
McGinn gets it to Jocelyn at the point. Jocelyn throws it around. McGinn leaves it there for Couture. Couture tied up by Aston. McLean squeezed into the glass by Leahy. To the point, knocked down in front by Regan. Nicely done. Clutterbuck leads it out. McLean, lots of skating room on the left side. McLean comes in, snaps that right on. Fluler makes the save. Lucas Fluler, a bit of a surprise start. Brady Morrison's been playing so well for Ottawa, but they go with Fluler.
Look at the Ottawa 67's record when they lead after 1 period. Well, that's pretty good, 17-2. When leading after 2 periods, unbeaten actually, because at least 1 point. And when trailing after the second period, 127-1. You may as well go home after 2 periods if you're at a 67 game.
The early start to the parking lot.
That is unbelievable.
2-4-1 when tied. Got to step in and find a corner. Interesting effort by Gongalski as he walked right out of the corner. And then here's Gongalski again. Grimaldi following him. Centers it, tries to get it to Mitchell. Mitchell's got a goal. Kept in at the point. Parnham throws it down low. Generals controlling play right now. Mitchell leaves it in the corner. Gongalski tried to get it in front. Mitchell turns, gets a weak shot away. Handled by Grimaldi, but he had a man on him already. And Delory's able to keep it in at the point. Swings in behind. Parnham is there. Parnham tries to get in front of Mitchell on the backhand. Couldn't get the shot away. Near side. Delory fires it. Knocked down in front. Liscombe That's about a 6-iron hack at it that bounces off the glass and back down into Oshawa territory. We get some speed going. Here's Siegmiller. Siegmiller still after it. 67's start back. Demers steers it up the boards into Generals territory. Lacasse throws it around. Free is there. He was tied up. But Oshawa clears at the center. Dumped right back in again, and the whistle blows.
26-23, the shots favoring Ottawa. It's tight on the shots clock, 2-2 on the scoreboard. Faceoff goes back in Ottawa territory. Next goal will really dictate how this third period plays itself out. Both teams now, you know, Rob, are going to be ultra conservative. Both Brad Selwood and Brian Kilray hammering in. Don't make that mistake. Don't be the man caught back.
There's a shot comes in. That whistle's wide. Hits the end board. Turning. Oshawa trying to get something going. Dean Howard is there. Battle is on. Howard walks around. Doesn't like the look. To Free. In behind. Tried to give him go. And tripped up. Here's Howard. It's going to be a penalty coming to Ottawa. Still trying to control the play. The Generals, they don't get their extra man in play, but they will get the power play. The first one of this third period.
Well, Howard does some nice work there to keep the feet moving, keep the energy going. It's behind the play. Look at him going. He's hauled down and keeps that puck alive. Another look. That's Howard. Just keep moving, and easy call for the ref to make there. And the 67's will have to kill off a penalty. 2:51 into this third period. Avoita in the box for tripping.
Well, the power play has worked for Oshawa. Clutterbuck's goal, power play goal. Goal by Mitchell, a power play goal. Aston throws it, and that one bounces off the end glass. And starting back, Ottawa, these guys are dangerous. McGinn and Couture. McGinn fires it. Lacasse makes the save, a big rebound, leaving it there. Clutterbuck goes in to scoop it up. Clutterbuck starts back. Clutterbuck's done all the work from his own end all the way back into Ottawa territory. Shot comes in. Following it around, though, is Fleuler. Lacasse again. They might have to tether him to the net.
He loves to come out and play that puck. It's almost like therapeutic for him, Rob. I think he just likes getting out of the net.
Into the zone. Aston throws it to the side of the net. On the backhand. Good job by Fleuler. Makes one save, then another on McLean, and they finally whistle it down.
Well, Brett McLean doing his job of making trouble in front. Backhand shot. Fleuler did make a nice save there. Rebound squirted loose, and McLean got it back again. Another look. That second opportunity that came as he fished it out, but directed it towards Fleuler. Fleuler was in good position and managed to finally smother that puck and deny McLean another goal.
Sweeping in behind that, Demers tried to get it out. He couldn't, but he's got the puck again, and this time he's got a much better avenue right on net, and Lacasse slows it down. 44 seconds left in the penalty to Voita. Delory starts it out, feeds it to the left side, and it's dumped in quickly. Minkowski's out there, squirts out, and it's the 67's who just satisfied with hammering the puck down the ice. Siegmiller. A free pass for Parham off his skates, and he has to retreat. Siegmiller again now under pressure from McGinn. 8 seconds left in the penalty. Voita's ready to go. Delory down the right side. Last chance for the Generals. And now onto the ice comes Voita, but there's a whistle and an offside call right at the line. Let's take a look at the top scores brought to you by Boston Pizza, you're among friends. And up to date now, Patrick Kane, 129 points. Tyler Donati of Belleville with 124. Then Kostitsyn from London, who's been red hot of late, now tying Sam Gagner. John Tavares is in the mix with 114 points.
And he fell further behind today. He has just 1 assist. Patrick Kane, 5-point afternoon. Gagner's got a couple of points in the, just like the standings, Rob, the leading scorers board goes back and forth in the OHL with, depending on who's playing who. Boy, Kane has been sizzling too.
So is Kostitsyn. He has been electric since coming back from the World Juniors.
A lot of weapons on that London team still. They are the #1 team in the OHL for good reason.
Puck bounces into the Oshawa zone. Digging in after it was Parnham. He steers it around to Mitchell on the right side. Mitchell gets the center. Tries to split the D. That doesn't work. Loose puck, but persistent as Mitchell stepping in and missing the net there was Kaverko as he was set up by Mitchell, and he is hit hard into the corner. Slow to get up. He wants a penalty. Not going to get it. Gosler fires it up to Mathot. Mathieu Mathot gets to the line. Mathot now all by himself. Stripped away by Parnham. To Grimgalski right side. Grimgalski squeezed up by Beard. Now Grimaldi. Cleared ahead and down it goes right onto Lacasse. He'll steer it behind his own net.
Mitchell went down and then got up a little bit too early there, Rob, to the referee's liking. He looked at him and said, well, if it was that bad a hit, why did you get up so quickly?
Free runs right into Grimaldi. Center. Puck is loose. Here's Kieran. Now to Free. Free bumps into Grimaldi again. And it's cleared out there by Scott Cowie. And across the line. Cowie takes it. Throws it on net, and Lacasse holds on as charging in was Ribeiro. Tied at 2 in the third period in Oshawa.
Dale Mitchell was complaining to the referee about this hit that Voida gave him, and Voida takes him in. Mitchell goes to the boards awkwardly, loses his stick, gets up, complains, and realizes I'm not getting the calls, and skates quickly off to the bench.
Did he not realize the Academy Awards were last week?
Exactly right. Referees do not like that.
You have to address that a little more.
Is stay down, but of course the puck was still in play, and referees have a tendency to remember that. That hit was close to a penalty, though.
2-2 the score, third period. General Motors Center in Oshawa. Hometown Generals and the Ottawa 67's both still trying to cement a playoff spot. Howard picks it up on the right side out with Free, and we've got a hit in the back behind the play, and Nesbitt getting a shove there from Greg Brown as Aston is still slow to move. Now Demers jumps in. There's quite a gathering, but Aston looks like he's had his bell rung. Slow to get up.
He shakes it off, but that play started with that hit in the corner on Peter Aston, number 10. The Generals took exception, and you can see in the face of Peter Aston there he is in some discomfort as he tries to shake it off and skates to the Oshawa bench. The assistant captain joined the team as an OA at the start of the year after playing in Europe, and he has been a big part of Brad Selwood's hockey club. Let's watch the hit. The penalty on the board, though, is at the moment to Oshawa, and there's a hit against the boards. Nesbitt rode him in there pretty good, and Aston is still feeling it.
He'll be attended to right now.
But the penalty is to the Generals, so Ottawa on the power play.
So Brown in the box. Power play 1 for 3 for the 67th. Again, along the boards, squeezed away from the puck, and it's fired down the ice by Brett McLean. Up to Brett McLean in the first intermission. So we have to keep it simple. Try to earn these 2 points. It's been a long stretch right now for Oshawa, winless in their last 6. And of the 12 points, they've gathered in only 2. Losing a shootout, losing one in overtime. Leahy. Delory lines him up, trying to center it, the 67th. McGinn has to get away from him to Jocelyn at the point. Jocelyn throws it wide. Here's Couture in front. Leahy misfires on it. Turning with him again. He couldn't get it towards the net. Again, Couture. To the point, Grimaldi off the stick of Lacasse. There with McGinn. McGinn couldn't hold on to it, but Jocelyn comes over to keep it in the line. He is tripped up. Off Tavares' leg. Why not Leahy? And that one's fires high and into the netting in behind the net. Good pressure on the power play there by the 67s.
They were firing the puck from all different angles, and fortunately for the Generals, that last shot went off the mesh. Great chance by Couture in particular. Let's watch the Generals try to defend here. The puck goes off of Tavares' ankle, and actually that went off the helmet.
Delory?
Wow, Delory. James Delory took that one right off the helmet, and from his helmet, that puck went off the mesh.
Demers starts around the net. 29 seconds left in the power play. Liskin throws it opposite corner. Kiriakou goes racing after it. Mathot takes the return pass from Liskin. Left there and having to chase is Kiriakou, and getting to it first is Parna, but not out. Winds up at the point right on the Lacasse as that was fired in by Voida. Hard shot from the right point.
There's good concentration there by Loic Lacasse. It was not a difficult save, but there was a lot of traffic, and those shots can be difficult. You see it come through. Liscombe right in the crease. Next in the slot, I should say, in Lacasse. Saw that puck all the way, smothered it.
From the Czech Republic, Voida with a good blast from the right point. Swept out, kept in at the point by Demers. Going around in the far corner, racing after it is Nesbitt. Nesbitt trying to get set up there as Ribeiro tried to find some room for him. Brown back onto the ice. He'll head right to the bench. This one bounces to Lula, and he decides to hold on, and then gives it up quickly. The Oshawa player skated by. Kept in low. Delory, nice steal. Delory tries to get it to Tavares. Delory shot off a stick and into the meshing again. 10:56 left to play in the third. Well, there's going to be a battle of Ontario. Molson Canadian Leafs hockey on Rogers Sportsnet. Toronto and Ottawa Thursday. Regional restrictions do apply. That should be a good one too, as Toronto, the Maple Leafs, are battling for a playoff spot.
And like the OHL, the NHL Eastern Conference standings change on a daily basis. Very, very tight.
Intercepted neatly by Delory. Delory digs into the corner, then looks for a little help, drops it back in there for John Tavares. Tavares sidestep Voita, still controls the puck. Back in again, stepping on his Clutterbuck. There's one shot, looking for another, but Fleuler won't let him get it. Persistent effort by the Generals as Clutterbuck came swinging in from behind the net.
Using his speed and his energy, and Fleuler had to be sharp. Look at Clutterbuck just get that quick backhand, then follow it up and had another whack at it, but Fleuler was able to smother it. McLean also being pushed into the net. That's the kind of energy and drive Cal Clutterbuck brings to this Generals team.
Jocelyn steers it ahead, and the 67 is able to clear it out. Aston, no worse for wear. He's back on the ice. Tavares didn't get a touch of it, and it's going to be called, and will come all the way back down into Oshawa territory.
Getting more and more the feeling, Rob, that it's going to come down to perhaps one more goal in regulation, if that. Both teams are playing it cautious. Selwood of the Generals and Brian Kilray of the 67s. They need the point, but they want to.
Now, Ottawa, more than Oshawa, need to. Right in front. Good save by Lacasse against Leahy. Shot comes in from the point off the end glass, off the stick of Voida. Now from the near side, Jocelyn. It's intercepted. Clutterbuck scoops it up, fires it around to Brett McLean. Tavares floating on the right side, trying to find the lead pass. Aston comes in, fires it right on. Steered away by Fleuler. Not out though, loose puck, and it's the 67s. You see it, not McLean. Almost knocked away by Voita, and here's a chance now. McGinn coming in with Couture breaking down the middle. McGinn, nice move. Good save by Lacasse. My goodness. Good action now, picking up in the third at Oshawa, tied with Ottawa. I think the goaltenders have accounted for themselves fairly well this afternoon, Roger.
They have played very well, Rob. Loic Lacasse 31 saves, Lucas Fleuler 28 saves, but the power play is always such a big factor with the Generals. They're winning the power play battle so far, 2 for 5. Ottawa just 1 for 4, and the Generals have stayed out of the penalty box to only allow those 4 power plays, and that's a big key for them.
Mathot throws it around for Kiriakou. He tried to center it. It was knocked away, but jamming it away was Mathot. And Ottawa dumps it right back in again. Lacasse slows it down. Regan takes a look. 9:20 left to play, third period, tied at 2. Oshawa led 1-0 after 1. 2-2 after 2. Banked off the boards, picked off there by Mitchell. Watch his speed. Mitchell comes in, gets one shot away, but it was wide. Regan steers it ahead. Parnham too far for him. Grimaldi can't clear it out of the zone. Mitchell goes in to try to scoop it up, and he does. Back up high. That was intended for Gringalski, but it was too far for him. Turning with it, Mitchell at the Ottawa line, loses it. Now Gongelski just dumps it in, and they'll change up. Ribeiro steers it ahead, too far for Cowie. Controlled now by Delory of the Generals. Now to Howard, just off the end of the blade of his stick. Beard backs it down to the Generals line. Generals, little giveaway there. Here's Cowie, comes in, crossing pass. Nesbitt was nowhere near it, couldn't get anything on it. It's in behind the net. Cowie slows it down in the corner. Finally, Delory with it. Takes a good look from behind his net, starts out. Flips it ahead to Merce, grabs it, tried to steer it ahead. Tavares dumps it in. Around it goes. Battle is on for it. Hewitt, who couldn't hold on to it. It's the 67's who threw it around the boards. Not able to get it out. Come back in again and chip down the ice. Whistle down, 7:37 left to play. Sportsnet Connected comes your way after hockey on Ontario. RJ Broadhead will fill you in on the 8 NHL games. The Blue Jays are at work today again, and Bridgeford Lake play in St. Petersburg against the Devil Rays. And always something interesting to see, except for the participants, the misplays of the week.
Oh, that's always a highlight for sure. And nice to see baseball back. You know, the winter is almost behind us when spring training's underway.
You know that spring training is here. That means the playoffs aren't too far away in hockey, and that perhaps we'll see the warmer weather. Aston turns, tried to fire it back. McGinn knocks it down. Tavares up across the line. Tavares steers it in. McLean. He was blocked, could not get it fired away. In the other corner, Clutterbuck swings out, tried to get it to McLean, and it is Grimaldi. He loses his glove in the process because able to get the puck out of the zone. McGinn tried to cruise down the line. Off the glass and out, knocked down by Tavares. Body's starting to get thrown around a little more now. A little more urgency, and that's something both these coaches said that their teams had to play with. Cleared out to center by Brown. Sent back the other way by Voida. Picked off by the Generals. Here's Mitchell coming in. Mitchell waits, tries to steer it in front to Tavares. Back to the point and past Regan, who was just coming on for a change.
Both teams changing even quicker than they had before. Really short line combinations. Even Tavares' line off a little quicker than usually there. Rob has got to shorten the bench here down with 6:13 to play. You know the fatigue is a big factor now in a 2-2 game.
Long lead pass knocked down by Kittiakou, not once but twice. Now it's Mitchell. Mitchell comes in. Gongelski, he opts to shoot. Good pad save there by Fluler. Kittiakou steers it ahead. Nobody there in an Ottawa uniform. Here's Mitchell now swinging in from the left side. Mitchell gets another shot away. And Mitchell takes a shot there from Brody Beard and goes down. And this one might get a call. 2-2 the score. 5:48 left to play in the third.
Dale Mitchell gets a call this time, and it's a definite call as Beard sticks him. Down goes Mitchell. Beard drops a stick, looks at the referee, and now we'll look for the next 2 minutes or less from the penalty box.
Well, always buzzing around is Dale Mitchell. Mitchell has a goal this afternoon. Power play for the Generals. Aston, McLean, back to Aston, sets up, shot, and Fluler able to find it through the crowd.
Well, that was the key, finding it. There was a lot of traffic in front of Fuller, but he kept his eye on that and managed to juggle it in his glove, but then held on as the Generals create the traffic. And there's the shot. Ottawa player going down and attempt to block that might have made it that much more difficult to pick up, but Fuller saw it.
Aston controls at the point, takes the return from McLean. Now McLean calling for it. Steps into the side of the net. Tavares and Clutterbuck tried to jam it in. Again, instinct, knowing exactly where Clutterbuck would be in the paint. Back to the point, Regan. Aston. Back to Regan. Little chip pass there for Clutterbuck. Tried to work it in front. It rolled off the stick of McLean. Aston, though, nicely done to keep it Turns, protects, fires it in the corner, and there's a sharp angle shot that Clutterbuck didn't get enough of. Would have been a nice play had it worked. Johnson can't clear it out. Aston keeps it in. John Tavares. McLean fires again. He might have an alley. Gets a shot away, and it's deflected off the end glass. Clutterbuck. Regan winds up. Shot. Diving in front was Logan Couture. Deflected away, but not out. Aston. Great puck possession time by the Generals in the Ottawa zone. Aston again steps in. That goes off the post. McGinn heaves it high. It bounces outside the zone. Stripped away from Logan Couture by Clutterbuck. Nice D to come back. Clutterbuck turns it back into offense again. 23 seconds left in the power play. Tavares steps in. His shot stopped by Fleuler. In front again. Loose puck. Fleuler jumps on it and holds on. Celebrating his Clutterbuck, and no, says the referee, it will go as a face-off. Boy, they're buzzing around. They wouldn't quit on this power play.
Lots of chances. There's the first one off the post. That was deflected off the. McLean might have got that off the goal post. And look at this last save. Tavares with that sneaky little move. Great move. Stopped and watch the puck come right back in front. McLean gets a whack, 2 whacks. Little celebrating, but the puck never went in. And number 191, John Tavares, frustrated at the bench.
16 seconds left in the penalty, and diving to get it out of the zone was Cowie. Racing in now. 67's and tying up with Siegmiller. Kiriakou is trying to make a drive for that. He strips it away. Kiriakou turns. The penalty is now over. Delory sends it into the Ottawa zone. Mitchell again. Swinging out. Gangalski, he turns. His shot goes off the leg. Guy try to work it back in front. It shoots through the crease. There's a shot right in front. Seeing it. And under it. No, it's loose. Fleuler, though, got the advantage of a quick whistle from the official when he lost sight of it. But it squirted after the save out. Fleuler was very fortunate that time.
The Generals are coming in hordes here. There's the first shot, goes wide, but Parner picks up the rebound. One save by Fleuler, another shot, another save by Fleuler. He's looking behind him, stretches the pad across, and somehow keeps it out. As the Generals have had about 8 shots in the last 4 minutes on Fleuler. On the power play first, and then even strength.
Delory loses it to Mathot. Mathot tried to go outside, then inside. He was knocked down. Puck sent down the ice. There will be a whistle. 3:04 left to play in the third period. This game tied at 2. Mitchell scoring on the power play in the first period made it 1-0 Oshawa. Ottawa came back with 2 goals. A power play goal by Couture, well, actually by Siegmiller as it went off Siegmiller. Mathot scoring. And then Clutterbuck tying the game at 2 at 16:39 with a power play effort.
Generals have an unexpected game Tuesday night.
Oh, quick shot, they score! Off the face-off in the Oshawa zone, the icing came back to bite the Generals.
Bite them big time, and Nesbitt does the damage, Rob, and right off the face-off, the Generals were not prepared. Wham, bam, and Nesbitt's backhand looked like Lacasse wasn't prepared either. Puck squirts loose. Nesbitt finds it. He just directs it towards the net. It wasn't even really a shot. And the quick backhand handcuffs Lacasse. Nesbitt celebrates. And right off the draw, Ottawa's got a 3-2 lead.
With 3:01 left to play in the third, Nesbitt's 6th of the season. And the Generals had just come from a series where they just continued to dominate and pressure the 67's, but could not beat Lucas Fleuler. And again, puck slides into the Oshawa zone. Here's the key, too, for a young Generals team. They can't start gripping the sticks, as they say. They've got to play still controlled. They can't get a little too nervy.
Well, let's take a look at this goal. Here's the face-off. Now, Cuban does the right thing. He tries to take his man out, squirts loose, but look at the backhand by Nesbitt. It's just an innocent ball directed towards the net. And you direct it towards the net, it goes in. And Nesbitt has Ottawa up on an innocent-looking play off the face-off.
Here's a chance now, 2-on-1. Clutterbuck comes in. Clutterbuck pushed away at the last moment. Good D there by Voida to stay with him, but coming down the other way, there might be a penalty as the net off the moorings. And 2 67's players slow to get up.
And I wonder who they're going to call on this penalty here, because Joslin went into the crease and looked like McLean got his stick up. Clutterbuck is complaining already. We'll have a look at this play. Speed of Clutterbuck makes it possible. He comes in. He's forced wide. Now watch behind. Ottawa defenseman goes right into the goaltender. Takes him out. And we'll wait for this call because it's a crucial one. But right now, we've got an injured player in the crease as Brian Kilray paces behind the bench. Joslin gets up slowly, but does get up. And will skate to the 67's bench.
Derek Joslin makes his way to the bench.
It looks like there may not be a penalty called at all here. And there's Clutterbuck again. He's forced wide, but what the 67 player going in, McLean knocks the player down, but he winds up sliding in to Fueller. Joslin does. Clutterbuck was looking at the referee. I guess he wanted a penalty going the other way, but no penalty. Generals failed to capitalize.
Ottawa charges back down into Oshawa territory. A little more jump in the step after the go-ahead goal. Backhand, weak one by McGinn. Leahy to Couture. Logan Couture. High to the point. Wait up. Chance now try to get it to Leahy, and it's McLean who comes back with it. 2 minutes left to play in the third period. Down by a goal. The Generals. Oh, knocked down from behind was Aston. No call. It will slide all the way down. Delory. Fans not happy right now. They thought there was a call.
Not a smart play there by Delory, who with 1:37 to play didn't take the extra step over the center line, so he ices it. And now we get into almost football-like possession and ice possession. Face off in Oshawa territory.
Watch Aston get nailed.
Just as he's bringing in the puck, he is clocked. That's what the fans wanted. There's the hit. Leahy got it up on him. Looks like the elbow was a little up there, but Aston went down.
Trying to clear it out. Methot keeps it in. Shot right on, and Lacasse decides this is the best thing to do. Just hold it and get the whistle. 1:27 left. 1 goal difference. The hometown Generals with a terrific home ice advantage. And look at the shots all even up.
37 apiece. 15-11 for Oshawa in this third period. Fueller's made a lot of big saves.
Mitchell down the right side. A little more speed. Takes a shot. Pad save. Rebound picked up by Methot and cleared out. We'll keep an eye on Lacasse to see if he heads to the bench.
There's a smart play by Loic Lacasse to keep the presence of mind. He knew that was icing, even if it went through the crease. We know how much he loves to get involved in the play and play it, but that time wisely let it slide by. Here's another save by Fueller, and that speed of Mitchell, he is something else. And Lacasse is going to the bench for an extra attacker.
He has gone to the bench, and right now, I believe a timeout has been called by Brad Selwood as he tries to diagram up a play. His team down by 1.
Well, the face-off here obviously crucial, and any play that Brad Selwood is diagramming starts with "we win the draw and then," and that's the key here. 67's though have got to be feeling pretty good, Rob, about the way they've played here on the road. You said it earlier, they've played a smart road game. They haven't done anything overly fancy. Brian Kilray kind of hockey. Good goaltending, which is always important. We had good goaltending at both ends. But that backhand goal has them in great position here to keep pace with Brampton in the Eastern Conference standings. Brampton already winning 2-1 in Sudbury. Generals have to play in Toronto against St. Mike's on Tuesday in a rescheduled game. They're not worried about that now.
From the draw. Bouncing puck controlled by Ottawa. 1:08 left. Generals able to keep it in. Picked off though by Ottawa and backhanded out. And it's whistled down again as just heaving that down was Voida.
And 1 minute even, and the face-off goes back into Ottawa territory. That gaping empty net. Voida might have been wise to try to move that out a little quicker, but Another face-off, a crucial one. Tavares on the draw again.
The big line is out. McLean, Tavares, Clutterbuck. McLean swings it around, and Lulu sees it and jumps on it. Gongulski was standing there. We've got Aston and Regan working the points. Gongulski is the extra man.
McLean had the right idea, just directing it in front. You never know what it'll hit. But what it found was the glove of Fuller. Made a nice save. 54.4 seconds left.
From the draw, there's a shot, comes it off the end boards. Loose. Lulu's lost his stick. Picked up though by the 67's and heaved out with 42 seconds left. Generals trying to get another rush going. Regan across to Gongulski. Steps across the line. Digs low. Gets a shot. Relieves the rebound there. Loose puck. They missed jamming in the rebound. Generals still controlling. Try to sweep around the short side, and it's cleared over the glass. Are they going to get a penalty?
No, he's saying deflected. Oh boy. The Generals will hotly contest that one. The linesman comes over to talk to the referee. It looked like that directly went into the stands. Now they're going to have a consultation, and now is he going to change his mind?
Scott Hobert's coming over to talk.
And there's Fuller again with another save. Oh, in tight. Clutterbuck just chased that puck through the crease. Fuller stopped the second one as well, and now the referee is going over the penalty box to say what? Penalty, Ottawa, delay of game.
So Scott Hobart saw that it went out, overruled Sean Reed.
Let's watch it here. The clearing attempt, backhanded. Well, there was a Generals player stick there, but there you see Aston right away saying in the stands, there it is. And Aston with his stick up saying, no, into the stands. Linesman was right there too, Rob. He was pointing and saying, yep. And now we've got another timeout, this one by Ottawa.
Well, when this guy talks, you listen.
And very simple. He's, again, the strategy is all involved on winning the draw.
You could see that, too. He says, now, if Oshawa gets it.
This is what you do. Exactly. We'll take a look at the penalty. It could turn out to be a crucial one. Tavares has it. They need a wraparound attempt. Quick shot. There was a General stick close by, but there Peter Aston immediately saying it, and the linesman pointing. And let's see. Ah, no question that was direct into the stands.
You could tell, too, the way Couture,
he knew it. Look at that. Look at that.
He's trying to use a little English there on to make sure it would stay in.
Yeah. Well, you want to clear it.
Well, extra attacker again with the penalty and with the goaltender out. Oshawa trying to tie this game. That shot goes wide. 13 seconds left. Kept in by Aston to the far side of Regan. Here's a chance to play back. They score! 8.3 seconds left. This game is tied.
A monster goal for the Generals as Cal Clutterbuck finishes it off with a high wrist shot. The Generals kept their poise. That puck almost came over the blue line a couple of times, but the pressure stayed in, and Clutterbuck finished it up, and the fans of the GMC are on their feet. There it is. That first shot went through the crease, came back along the boards, kept in again. Watch Clutterbuck in front, takes it, fires it up high, beats Fuller cleanly. And the Generals have tied it at 3 with less than 9 seconds to play.
Regan and Aston should get the assists on this. And 6 seconds left. How about a little OT? So a little extra play. Oshawa had to play a little longer last night in Erie and losing before getting on the bus, and now they're at home. A late goal has re-energized them. Will it be enough for the OT? 3-3 the scores on a late goal by Clutterbuck. Will come back with OT in Oshawa. Peter Aston did a terrific job.
Sure did, keeping this puck in here, keeping his poise. They throw it around. Now watch Clutterbuck. He finds it in the slot, takes his time. First thing you want to do is shoot, shoot, shoot. Sometimes, no, set it up. See where the goaltender is. His 32nd of the season, second of the game. Power play. Don't forget, that penalty cost Ottawa dearly.
So the power play works for the Generals into overtime. 4-on-4 in Ottawa. Jocelyn swings across the line. Jocelyn goes outside. Sends Couture towards the net. Couture now with the puck. In behind, trying to get to McGinn. He couldn't get his stick on it for a good shot. Jocelyn, though, keeps it in. That one takes a funny redirection. Still Ottawa controlling. McGinn tried to get it to Couture. Was headed towards the net. Chopped up by Jocelyn. Controlled now by the Generals. McLean. Submarine there by McGinn. Aston now across the line with Tavares. Aston waiting. Throws it in the corner. McLean is there for it. Up high to Delory. He steps in. Shot goes off a pad. Right back to him. Delory another one. A diving Couture makes the save. Jocelyn tries to squeeze out Delory. Lourdes steers the puck back to the near side. Aston is there. Sends it right on net. That slides by. Here's a chance now. Ottawa coming back. McGinn with Couture. McGinn shoots and scores! 1 minute, 10 seconds into overtime, and it's Ottawa who skates away with the extra point.
Boy, Loic Lacasse hangs the head, and he will see that one tonight as the 67's celebrate, and Brian Kilray and company get back for the long bus trip, and it'll be a much nicer ride back. Lacasse skates off dejectedly, and Brad Selwood, not much you can say about that one. A stoppable shot in overtime, but full credit to the 67's on the road. They win in overtime.
His 38th goal of the season, the winner in OT, as McGinn went shooting down the right side. He had Couture with him. Opts to shoot, and it was the right choice.
Lacasse got a piece of it. Here's another look of it. In he comes. Now Aston provides a bit of a screen. Maybe it's a bit of a obstruction for Lacasse, but boy, Lacasse just could not squeeze the pads, and look at the big smile on McGinn. 67's win in overtime.
Big win for Ottawa, 4-3 in overtime against Oshawa. We'll come back to the General Motors Center. Time now for the play of the game, brought to you by Acklands Granger, Canada's leading distributor of industrial fleet and safety supplies. What have you selected, Mr. Lajoie?
Pretty easy with an overtime winner. McGinn takes the shot. Nothing fancy about this. He had Couture with him as a decoy. Aston perhaps a bit of a screen, but Loic Lacasse should have had that one. 67's get the 2 points.
You almost wonder if Lacasse was thinking a little too much about number 89 bearing right up the middle.
Eyes were roaming the other direction. And look at the 67's. They're celebrating this one. They stay 4 points ahead of Brampton with a massive win for them. Big win on the road as well.
Well, there's more hockey on Rogers Sportsnet Coast to Coast. Drummondville and Gatineau. Peter Labardius and Sam Cosentino will call the action for you. 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific time. Meanwhile, RJ Broadhead is standing by. He's ready to get you all caught up on Connected. Highlights from the 8 NHL games, the Jays and D-Rays spring action, and misplays of the week. An exciting game, but it's Ottawa who skates away with a 4-3 overtime victory from the General Motors Center. On a night where they honored the 1990 Memorial Cup champion Oshawa Generals and saluted the Canadian troops. The boys on the ice were doing their job. A great battle both ways, but it was Ottawa in overtime defeating Oshawa. For Roger Lajoie, I'm Rob Faulds. Take care, everybody.